What's going on, everybody? This is Sam with Troops Mowing. I hope everything is going well for you guys. We are currently in the thick of the off season for lawn care, especially here in Central Texas. The past week, we've had negative 3 degrees in terms of feel like temperature, which obviously grass ain't growing too crazy with that. But across all of America, I'm pretty sure we're all experiencing some sort of off season downturn in terms of productivity and jobs on the schedule. Due to that, I feel like this video is a little bit late to the party, but I wanted to film this video on how you can stay profitable during your off season. There's just a few different tips, but these tips really would be important to deploy. Let's say a month or 2 months before your off season really starts to get into the thick of it. So one thing that we do here in Central Texas, a lot of lawn care companies like to do weekly services. We prefer to do bi-weekly services for all of our customers. If you actually break the math down, you will make more revenue with bi-weekly customers, especially if you fill up your whole schedule with bi-weekly customers. So one thing that we do is in the off season, we raise our prices, but we decrease our service frequencies. So what that looks like is we, instead of coming to a customer's property once every 2 weeks, we now go to the customer's property once every 4 weeks. But we do increase that price. I won't say an exact percentage, but you can increase it 20%, 30%, 50%, however you see fit. But once you increase that pricing to the customer, they're going to be a little bit thrown off. Like, why are my services, why are the prices being raised? But you want to word it to where there's a benefit to the customer. So yes, although the price per service has increased by X%, we are decreasing your frequency. So as long as that price increase is not 100%, you are ultimately giving your customer a savings on a monthly basis. Here's what I mean. Let's say you do bi-weekly services for $50 per cut, and you go to that customer's property once every 2 weeks. So in theory, they have $100 a month that they're paying in lawn care. Now, if you raise that price, let's say to $75 per service, but you're only going to that property once every 4 weeks instead of once every 2 weeks, you are saving that customer $25 a month on their lawn care expenses. Now, what you want to do is you want to word that in a text message or email, however you communicate with your customers. You want to let them know that, hey, this is our plan for the winter. There's no need to cancel your services. What we're going to do is we are going to, instead of coming once every 2 weeks, will be once every 4 weeks. Your price for that month will be $75, which ultimately is a savings of $25 a month to you as the customer. The reason why these winter services are important is it not only allows you to have peace of mind knowing that your property is maintained all year round, it also reserves your spot on our schedule for the spring, which we fully anticipate on it being booked up by the end of March, for example. You can also say, if we come to your property, instead of focusing on lawn mowing services, although that would be our priority, if we determine that your lawn does not need to be mowed, instead we will focus our efforts on pulling weeds, bush trimming, redefining edges, things like that. What this does to your customer is it allows them to get those services like bush trimming services, which you probably have a minimum charge of, let's say, $99, for example. They're able to get that serviced for just $75. So it's a win-win for not only you as the company, but it's also a win for the customer. They're getting a savings on a monthly basis and their property is still maintained, and they still get to reserve their place on the schedule for the spring. So that is my first tip on how to stay profitable and to really stay in business during the winter season. The second tip I have for any sort of communication when it comes into changing pricing, changing frequency, changing service offerings, etc., is to ensure that you're not letting the customer opt in. You want to ensure that they have to opt out. This looks like, hey, Mrs. Jones, we are going to be entering our winter service frequency, and what that means is everything we just talked about. No need to redo it. We plan on being at your service on December 5th, and your pricing is this. We look forward to doing business with you soon. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out to me at your phone number. This allows the customer to not have to click a button or respond by saying, yes, I want those services. They simply would have to say no. They'd have to reach out and take initiative and say no. Otherwise, they're on your schedule, and you've already communicated that to the customer. A few issues you're going to have in going with these winter services is not everybody checks their emails, and not everybody's going to check their text messages. So you're going to have a few customers that are going to be upset with you saying, why did my service increase? My lawn looks like it didn't need to be mowed, but you still mowed it. For those handful of customers, you will just simply say you're sorry, issue them a refund, and tell them that you're going to reserve their place on their schedule for the spring anyways. This ensures that you don't lose a customer, and it also, that's pretty much it. You just don't lose a customer, but you still are able to inform them of your winter service frequency. Therefore, for next winter, they shouldn't have that same concern. One of the final tips that I have in making sure that you're staying profitable during your off season in terms of lawn care and landscaping is do not keep employees on your staff for the sake of just doing busy work to keep them with the company. I can really dive into this on probably a whole nother video, but you want to make sure that you have like solid work for your employees, and you want to make sure that they are staying busy with revenue generating work. So with these price increases, if you're giving them a percentage of the labor revenue, they're technically getting a huge increase in pay because they're just simply getting a percentage of the percentage that you just increased to the customer. So they don't necessarily have to work as many hours because you're probably not going to have a full 40-hour work week for your customers between December and February, but they are going to get that made up in the sense that they just got a significant pay increase. You also kind of want to look at your service offerings and see what services can I do during this off season. For example, maybe lawn mowing is not even remotely possible between December and February. And if you live in Michigan, you could do snow removal services. If you live down here in Central Texas like us, we can focus on doing like paver walkway installations and just flower bed tune-ups, right? Pulling weeds and making sure that there's weed barrier down if the customer wants. Those things don't require any sort of plant or grass growth. It's just a simply labor. If they wanted a flower bed to have the mulch removed and put gravel in, now's a good time to do that. And you can market that to your customers by saying, hey, we're giving a discount on our hourly rate or giving a discount on labor between these months if you're looking for these services. If you wait until March through November, for example, we cannot offer this discount on our labor. So that allows you to market to your current customer base, and it allows you to ensure that you have enough work on your schedule for your A-plus players. Sorry, we got cut off there, and due to the ADD nature that I have, no clue what I was just rambling about. But if you were to follow these 3 tips, I promise you that your winter/off season for lawn care is going to go as smoothly as it ever has gone. Really, just to recap, raise prices, decrease frequencies, keep your customers happy. Make sure that when you're sending out this communication, they have to opt out, not opt in. And make sure that your staff is busy with revenue generating work. Don't simply just have them here sweeping the shop floors, sharpening mower blades, just to keep them busy. If you have an A-plus player and you know that you would lose them if you let them go, that would be like, I'm trying to think, that's something that you might want to consider, maybe making sure that you can find something else for them to do. I simply wouldn't have it be busy work like sweeping the floor. I would just print out like 10,000 door hangers and have them go hang door hangers. Doing something that could lead to revenue generating tasks in the near future instead of just sweeping a floor, which is only going to take away from your cash reserves. I hope this information helps. I would love to hear from every one of you in the comments. I would love to schedule a call and help out a few companies. We had one gentleman that I talked to up in Tulsa, Oklahoma a few months ago, and I hopped on a non-recorded coaching call with him, and he sent me a text saying that it's drastically changed his business, which just is super awesome to hear. So shoot me a comment if you guys have any questions. I'd love to hop on a call while I have time. Between March and November, I'm pretty strapped on time. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Let me know in the comments what other videos you would like for me to make. Thanks, guys.